How important is it to have a calendar system that's flexible, easy to use, and actually effective? Not long ago, my days were a blur of chaos. I'd remember something happened, but not when. It felt like I was moving through time with no markers, just a blur of days I couldn't make sense of. Then I started using a calendar to actually plan my days. Now I can see what I did yesterday, what I need to do today, and what's coming tomorrow. I'm no longer afraid of forgetting things or anxious about the unknown. Instead of relying on memory, I can rely on what I see, and that gives me a real sense of control. In this video, I'll show you exactly how I use my calendar and share 10 practical tips that help me stay organized. By the end, you'll understand why I've fallen in love with TickTick's calendar. Let's start with choosing the right view. Lately, I've been using the month view most often. It gives me a bird's eye view of what I've done and what's coming up, and that brings me a sense of calm. When I need to plan things in more detail, I switch to day or week views. These two views come with a time grid so I can break my day into clear time blocks. Each hour has its place. On desktop, switching views in TickTick is super simple. Press D for daily, W for weekly, or M for monthly. Or just press 1, 2, or 3. Same result. If you have a lot of tasks each day and the month view doesn't show everything clearly, you can switch to the multi-week view in the top right corner. You can choose how many weeks to display. I usually go with a 4-week view because it shows all my daily tasks while still covering a time range similar to the month view. With the right view selected, it's time to get into the actual workflow. Every morning before I start work, I open my calendar for a quick planning session. Step 1. Review yesterday's tasks. For example, if I see that I didn't finish edit YouTube video yesterday, I'll just continue it today. To do that, I simply drag the edge of the task block to extend it across multiple days. If there's a task I didn't get to at all, I just drag and drop it into today's box. Drag and drop is a must-know trick for adjusting task dates and times. It works on mobile too. Just long press and drag. Some tasks were completed yesterday, but I forgot to check them off. If I hold the Option key, the checkboxes will appear in front of each task. Click and done. Easy and fast. The whole review takes just 10 to 20 seconds, but it makes a huge difference. I instantly know what I've done, what's still left, and what I need to focus on today. It cuts down decision-making time and reduces anxiety. After reviewing yesterday, I move on to planning today's tasks. Besides rolling over unfinished ones, I often schedule new tasks as well. Some of them were already captured in my task list. This is when the Show with Task feature becomes useful. Right-click the Calendar module and select Show with Task. Now the task list appears on the right side of the calendar. I switch to my work list, check how much time I have today, then drag the most urgent tasks, marked in red, into the calendar. This is my next tip. Use Show with Task to view your task list alongside the calendar and drag tasks directly into the schedule. Of course, sometimes tasks pop up on the spot and haven't been written down yet. In that case, just add them straight into the calendar. To add an all-day task, click on the date. To add a duration task, click and drag to select a time range. For example, say I just got a meeting notification. It's today's monthly meeting. I click on today's box to create a task. Then I type the task name and enter tilde to quickly assign it to a list. No need to use the mouse. You can also use exclamation point to set a priority or hashtag to add tags. And that brings me to another tip, task color. This is one of my favorite features, using color to instantly tell task types apart. Click the three-dot icon at the top right of the calendar, go to View Options, Color. You can choose to color tasks by list, tag, or priority. I personally prefer list or tag, since they reflect how I organize my work. In the Task module, you can right-click a list or tag to set a custom color. For example, I set 2 of my work lists to orange and yellow. Then I tell the calendar to color tasks based on list color. This way, I can instantly spot work tasks and see how much of my life they're taking up. So if you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend experimenting with color schemes. It can make your calendar much clearer at a glance. Here's another super handy trick: quickly duplicating tasks. Sometimes I need to do something I've done before, like grocery shopping. It's not a recurring task, just something I do when needed. If I plan to buy groceries today, how can I quickly reuse the old task? Just hold Option or Command and drag the last Buy Groceries task to today's box. Done! Duplicated in seconds. All the details, like my shopping list, are copied over. I just update them, no need to start from scratch. By this point, I've usually finished planning my day. Then I go ahead and follow the schedule. If plans change during the day, no problem. Hold Control or Command to select multiple tasks, then reschedule in bulk. Bulk editing also lets you change dates, tags, lists, priorities, or even duplicate and complete tasks. If your list system is changed or evolved, this makes reorganizing easy and quick. Just open your calendar and tidy up your tasks accordingly. Now, if you've got a complex list system, your calendar might start to look cluttered. That's normal, and there's a fix. Click the Expand button in the top left of the calendar. Here, you can filter which lists to show or hide. Sometimes I also check future plans in my calendar, like how many days until my birthday or another important event. That brings me to another favorite: countdowns in the calendar. Go to the 3-dot menu, View Options, and enable Show Countdown. Now, important dates I've added to the Countdown module show up right in the calendar. It's super helpful for advanced planning. Whenever I glance at the calendar, I know exactly how close I am to a big day. No surprises, no last-minute scrambling. So, those are all the tips I wanted to share today. Honestly, I've tried using plain task lists in the past, but it never stuck. Now, by planning everything on a calendar, not only have I stayed consistent, but I've started recording more and more. What really hooked me is that sense of clarity, like I can see my life one day at a time. That sense of structure and control, it's powerful. To me, a calendar isn't just a reminder of what to do. It's a way to realize that time can be seen, scheduled, and owned. And in that moment, it's not just a task being completed. It's me taking charge of my day. If this video helped you feel more in control of your time, don't forget to like and subscribe. I've got more tips coming your way.